Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome back to the channel today. It's good to have you. Special welcome back to all of our subscribers. It's great to have you here. If you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for the first time, welcome. If you would, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. And to everyone watching, please consider becoming a member. Click the join button below to receive additional information on forms and documents and additional training that will be emailed directly to your inbox. And then to learn more about me and my company and how we can help take you to that next level, please check out the links below. Now, with all that said, our topic for you today, it's 5 gym sales training techniques that every gym sales manager should know. 5 sales training techniques that every gym sales manager should know. So if you're managing other people in sales, if you're teaching them how to do this, if you're an area supervisor, an owner, a sales manager, or you can even take these same things. It doesn't even have to be applied to sales. It can be whatever it is we're trying to train. But 5 training techniques that every gym sales manager should know. Now, let's hop into this here. Number 1, use e-learning to educate. Use e-learning. It's what you're doing right here. Okay, this is e-learning right here. And the reason it's so important and the reason it's so valuable is everyone can do it on the go. You don't have to be in the meeting. They can do it on the go. There's many clubs that will use this channel, for their training component. Okay, set up a time. Hey, here's the videos that you're responsible to watch. Here's the 3 videos. Watch them. We're going to discuss them when I see you again on Tuesday. Okay, you can even go to our site. You can check the link below, but you can go to fmconsulting.net. In addition, of course, to our YouTube channel, you've got Jim Thomas On Demand. There's a subscription service. You can subscribe to it and get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of training courses. You can go check out. You can check out in the links below or back at the website. Teachable, our gym management playbook. Okay, a host of information in there on how to grow and develop your business. You've got the YouTube channel here. You can subscribe to it and get regular notifications. You can even join and get additional information. There's so much out there to help you with e-learning where your staffers can do this on the go. And it's no different than when schools were doing the at-home learning. You can give them, hey, here's the criteria, here's the 3 videos we want you to watch. Watch them, make some comments. We're going to discuss them tomorrow. And so they can do this, at the comfort of their own leisure. Okay, but e-learning, critical right now. It's always going to be. It's going to get even bigger. Number 2, keep your training short but consistent. Here's what I mean by this. When I say short, I'm not talking, super short. But here's what I like to do. Let's just talk about sales training. I like to do it for managers, for weekend managers, for front desk. I like to do it for everybody. But for the sake of this, let's just talk sales folks. I like to have a meeting a week with all my full-time salespeople. It's going to take an hour. And I'm going to go over, policies and procedures and things that I think. It's all positive. There's no negatives in the meeting. But it's going to be for an hour, not an hour and a minute. It's going to be for an hour. But it's also going to have training components in there. And I'm going to ask, hey, what's working, what's not working? I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear their story. And I want everybody else to hear their story. I want everybody else to participate, share your successes. How can you help this person? Because I'm training these folks on how to become managers, how to become directors, okay? So we're going to do it regular and consistent. So it's going to be, say, every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. We have a sales meeting for 1 hour. It's also a training session. And then every day, I'm going to train for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe I sit down, okay, we're going to role play the telephone inquiry. We're going to role play the tour. We're going to role play how we ask questions. We're going to role play how we build value. Okay? But it's going to be consistent day in, day out, and week in and week out. Because if you're the person doing the training, here's some important information for you. It's never going to be important to your staff until it's first important to you. And it's only going to be important to you based on your actions, not your words. Do it. Do this training every day, every week. One of the common things that I see is, maybe we'll have a meeting with someone, they get excited, and they have this big training, we're going to start doing this and this and this and this, but then they don't follow up. Because all this is, when you're training regular, essentially you're following up. There's an accountability to know the information. And in addition to that, I'll tell the managers, hey, when your staff shows up to these meetings, yeah, it's a reflection of them, but it's also a reflection on how well you prepared them. Make sure they're ready. There's accountability, across the board here. Number 3, reward specific achievement. Reward achievement. And there's any numerous ways that we can reward folks. But like, say, for example, say we're monitoring our set percentage on telephone inquiries. And say we've got a club, they're only setting 30%. Now, I've got new clients we brought on, they're setting 0. They're not setting anybody. And we get it to 60, we get it to 80. Let's reward it. Sometimes that reward can be, thank you, congratulations, that's a great job. Sometimes that handshake, that appreciation, sometimes that is reward enough. Okay? Or if you want to give away something more tangible, you might go to the local community and a restaurant will give you a steak dinner for 2. Or a hotel might give you a 3-day, 2-night staycation. At no cost. There's other things you can do, but the point being here, reward, specific achievement. Closing percentage goes up, referrals go up, we hit our quota, we break a record, whatever it might be, reward and acknowledge that special achievement. At the very least, thank you, Mary, I appreciate it, great job. Okay. Number 4, provide detailed feedback. Provide detailed feedback. We're trying to teach these folks how to do this. And one of the examples I would give her, we had a club gal that worked there. She was really good. And she worked the morning shift like 5 a.m. to 2. Okay? And, the good thing about her, she did well. And so when she did well, the club did well. If she struggled, club struggled because they depended so much on her. And we went through a stretch one time with her where she just wasn't selling anybody. She was really struggling. And so I came out, and I'd known her for a while, and so I said, hey, would you mind, let's start with your price presentation. Would you mind giving it to me? And she'd been through training a lot, okay, so she knew it. And so I said, I want to hear what you're saying at point of sale. Because a lot of times that's where, the rub, we kind of rush it, we go through, we skip steps and different things. And so we're going through it, and she just stops and she goes, you know what, Jim, I know exactly what I'm doing wrong. I just figured it out. I'm good. And in most cases, I would have said, well, hey, let's talk about that. In her case, I'd known her long enough. She'd been through so much training. I had a high level of trust. I said, fine, let's go get it. And she did. She was back to normal. Okay? But we want to be able to provide detailed feedback on what happened and what's going on. Because we have to learn. We're either going to get better or worse, right? I'll give you an example. If you're not using one of these, and you can find this here on the channel, just do a search for it, a tour log sheet. And it is how to close more sales. And the purpose of the tour log sheet, say I miss a sale. Well, the purpose of this tour log sheet now is to go through a whole series of questions to understand why we missed them and what we can do differently if, in effect, that same person came in. Because what we can't do, we can't put the accountability on the customer. Oh, they weren't going to buy. They had no intentions of buying. We have to make sure the accountability is on us. And the reason that accountability is on us, that's the only thing we have 100% control over, okay? That's why we have to do that. It's not a bad thing. It's just a reality thing, okay? And so the purpose of that tour log sheet is to understand now, if in effect that same customer comes in, what can I do different? What will I do different? What can I do to do a better job of building value? That's the idea. So we want to provide detailed feedback, okay? And then number 5, share success stories. Share success stories of folks that you never thought would buy, and by golly, they did. Okay? Share success stories. I'll give you one here that we did one time. This was, we had a situation at a club. The manager was good at sales. He wasn't good at keeping staff. So he had a lot of turnover. In some cases, it was just him. Okay? And we had one of those cases where he did well because he was a hustler, but he just wasn't good with staff. And then he got sick. And so we're heading into closeout, which for this club was an important time. They'd write a lot of business, during that final days of the month. And we had no sales staff and our manager's sick. Okay, and yet no excuses, we still have to produce. And so what do we have? We had personal trainers, we had front desk. None of them really desiring to be a salesperson, and none of them really schooled in it or even wanting to be, for the most part. But we had to figure it out. And so what I did is I got them all together, in a conference room. We had a training class. And what the class was about, I was talking about closeout. And I explained what it was. And you can, again, do a search on this channel. If you don't know what closeout is, you can do a search on this channel for closeout procedures and how that works. And I was talking about, closeout to them. And I said, what I want each of you to do is I want you to talk about a closeout that you saw, that you were part of, that you participated in, and how it really made a difference. And so we started, we just went around the room, and I don't know what, there's 15 people in that room, okay? And they told stories of closeouts. In some cases, it was health clubs that they were a member of, or a health club that they worked out, that, hey, it was the final day, and they had a line around the building of people wanting to come in to buy, and they just told these great stories. Another person told about how they used to work in retail, and at the end of the day, the receipt that comes out of the register, it was rolling all the way out the front door because they'd been so busy all day long on final specials. We had another one that was doing they were in college and doing book sales door to door. It was their final day, or final few days, and how they approached that, and all the great sales. Okay, I mean, I remember a manager that I had. I just promoted her. We promoted the manager to an area director, and the manager, was a salesperson, new manager, and she decided to break all the records. And they had this big thermometer in her room, and they're coloring it in, and she was and how she got that to break sales records. So we had everyone tell these stories. It was marvelous, and that's all we did was told stories of success that we'd all participated in. And I told them, hey, here's where we're at. There's no sales staff, but hey, we're in this closeout mode ourselves. So I want you to draw on things you've learned, things you know. We've got 3 or 4 days left. Here's how we're going to market it. Here's how we're going to promote it. These kind of people will be coming in. These kind of people will be calling. Let's make it happen. And they did. Now, they didn't break a sales record. I wouldn't have expected them to, but they did extremely well. Share success stories. It's awful easy to start believing all the bad. We don't care about that. We can't control that. Let's focus on, how we think and feeding that positive in there and sharing success stories. So folks, 5 sales training techniques that every gym sales manager should know. Folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. To learn more about me and my company, please check out the links below and how we can help take your business to that next level. Also, please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Consider becoming a member. And we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.